What happens when a regional power with far fewer resources finds itself facing the most powerful navy on Earth? A navy built around massive aircraft carriers, advanced destroyers, and a global logistics network that spans every ocean. In today's Middle East, this is no longer a hypothetical question. It's a real strategic dilemma playing out in real time. Iran's answer is not to challenge the United States head-on. That would be a losing fight. Instead, Tehran has built its entire naval doctrine around asymmetric warfare, fighting smarter, not bigger, and turning America's strengths into vulnerabilities. Imagine this scenario. Two ordinary civilian cargo ships move quietly through the waters near a US aircraft carrier. There are no warning signs, no aggressive maneuvers, nothing that looks out of place. Everything appears routine, and then, in an instant, with the push of a button, a shipping container door slides open. From inside, a missile launches. These are Iranian-made anti-ship missiles. They may not match the most advanced Western systems, but they are more than capable of delivering a powerful strike. Almost immediately, the attack escalates. Swarms of low-flying drones flood the airspace. Fast attack boats burst from concealment, racing across the surface at high speed. Beneath the waves, small submarines silently move into firing positions. Those submarines can launch torpedoes at the same time as the surface and aerial assault unfolds. The objective isn't perfection, it's saturation. In a matter of moments, the carrier strike groups, layered defenses are forced to engage too many threats at once. Even if only a fraction of these weapons get through, say, just 10%, the damage could be enough to change the entire operational picture. An aircraft carrier doesn't need to sink to be neutralized. Damage to its flight deck, sensors, or propulsion systems could make the surrounding waters far too dangerous for US forces to operate freely. And that's the core of Iran's strategy: deny access, raise the cost of presence, and turn confined seas into hostile zones. To understand how this could work in practice, we need to break down the key tactics Iran would likely rely on, starting with the most well-known and perhaps the most dangerous of them all. Tactic 1. The Swarm. Iran's Revolutionary Guard Navy operates hundreds of small, fast attack craft armed with heavy machine guns, rockets, and anti-ship missiles. The concept is brutally simple. Instead of engaging a US destroyer one-on-one, a fight they would almost certainly lose, dozens of boats are launched simultaneously from multiple directions. The goal is to overwhelm defensive systems by presenting more targets than a single ship can track and destroy at once. Tactic 2. Mining the Strait. The next layer of Iran's strategy is far quieter, and potentially far more disruptive. Mining the Strait of Hormuz. This narrow stretch of water is one of the most critical energy choke points on the planet. Roughly a fifth of the world's oil passes through it every single day. Any serious disruption here would be felt instantly across global markets. Iran maintains an inventory of thousands of naval mines, ranging from simple contact mines to far more advanced smart mines. These smart mines can listen. They are programmed to detect the unique acoustic signatures of specific classes of ships, allowing them to ignore civilian traffic while targeting military vessels. In a conflict, Iran wouldn't need large warships to deploy them. Mines could be laid by small boats, submarines, or even disguised civilian vessels slipping quietly into major shipping lanes. And the objective isn't just military success, it's economic warfare. By denying safe passage through the strait, Iran could drive insurance rates through the roof, spike oil prices overnight, and inflict massive economic pain on the United States and its allies, without firing a single missile at a ship. Tactic 3. Turning the coast into a kill zone. The third tactic exploits geography itself. Iran's southern coastline is rugged, mountainous, and ideal for concealment. It provides perfect cover for mobile coastal missile batteries that can strike targets at sea and then disappear before retaliation arrives. These systems rely on what's known as shoot and scoot tactics. Truck-mounted launchers fire anti-ship or ballistic missiles, then immediately relocate to a new hiding position. By the time US forces identify the launch site, it's already gone. This effectively transforms much of the Persian Gulf into a kill zone. US ships operating there would face constant threats from land-based missiles, launched from positions that are difficult to detect, even harder to destroy, and nearly impossible to suppress entirely. There's nowhere to hide, and nowhere truly safe. Tactic 4, the submarine ambush. Then there's the underwater threat. The Persian Gulf is relatively shallow, which limits the effectiveness of large nuclear-powered submarines. But for Iran's fleet of diesel-electric mini-submarines, it's an ideal environment. These small subs are designed to be quiet, extremely quiet. They can sit motionless on the seafloor, blending into background noise, waiting patiently for a target to pass overhead. When the moment is right, they strike, armed with heavyweight torpedoes and naval mines. These submarines are optimized for ambush operations against high-value targets like aircraft carriers and destroyers. A coordinated torpedo attack aimed at a carrier's propulsion or flight deck systems could cripple its ability to conduct air operations, even without sinking the ship. Beyond direct attacks, these submarines could also lay underwater mines in critical sea lanes, forcing US warships into predictable routes. Those routes, in turn, could be covered by coastal missiles and drone strikes, creating layered ambush zones designed to trap and punish any fleet movement. And this is where the strategy becomes truly dangerous. Every domain, sea, air, land, and subsurface, is working together. Each threat feeds into the next. But Iran doesn't stop there, because the next phase of the strategy doesn't come from the water at all. Tactic 5, the aerial drone threat. The next layer of Iran's strategy comes from the sky. Over the past decade, Iran has invested heavily in drone warfare, transforming itself into one of the most capable UAV producers in the Middle East. In a conflict, these drones wouldn't just be used for reconnaissance. Many of them would be deployed as loitering munitions, effectively suicide drones. The tactic is saturation. Waves of drones would be launched simultaneously, flying low and slow, deliberately designed to strain shipboard air defenses. Their targets wouldn't necessarily be the hulls of US ships, but their eyes and brains, radar arrays, sensor masts, communications equipment, and flight decks. Even limited damage could blind fleet senses or halt flight operations, leaving warships exposed to follow-on missile strikes. Tactic 6, striking the support network. But perhaps the most dangerous aspect of Iran's strategy lies beyond the battlefield at sea. The US Navy does not operate in isolation. It depends on regional ports, air bases, fuel depots, and command centers to sustain operations. Iran knows this, and plans accordingly. Iran possesses the largest ballistic missile arsenal in the Middle East. In a major conflict, it would likely unleash large-scale missile barrages against fixed US infrastructure across the region. The goal wouldn't simply be destruction, it would be denial. Deny fuel, deny ammunition, deny command and control. Key targets would likely include US naval facilities in Bahrain, air bases in Qatar, the United Arab Emirates, and multiple installations in Iraq. By striking these hubs, Iran aims to paralyze logistics and force US naval forces to withdraw. If ships have nowhere safe to dock, refuel, or resupply, they cannot remain in the Gulf for long. Iran's approach would be multi-domain and coordinated. Ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, drones, and proxy forces would all be used to overwhelm defenses. Some missiles could be programmed to detonate above ground, using proximity fuses, maximizing fragmentation and damage across wide areas. Others would target hardened shelters, fuel storage, runways, and command posts. A successful strike on a major airbase could cripple flight operations, grounding aircraft and disrupting regional air superiority. Naval facilities could be damaged or rendered unusable, forcing US warships to operate farther from contested waters, reducing their effectiveness. Iran could also leverage proxy forces across the region to apply constant pressure. Attacks might not always be decisive, but they would be relentless. The objective is cumulative effect, stretching defenses, increasing costs, and eroding political will. This strategy reflects Tehran's broader goals: deterring direct military intervention, retaliating decisively if attacked, and asserting its influence across key maritime choke points. Iran doesn't need to defeat the US Navy outright. It only needs to make the price of staying in the region too high. And that's the real danger. Not a single decisive battle, but a sustained campaign designed to turn every advantage into a liability. If you want to understand how the United States is adapting its own military strategy in response to these challenges, and what that could mean for the future of the Middle East, make sure to check out our upcoming analysis in the next video.